We hot?
We're hot.
All right. That's nice.
I mean, we're not hot, but we're live.
It's definitely no. It's hot. It's temperature wise hot.
Yeah. It's fucking up my rut.
Yeah, you're telling me, bro. It's like 75 degrees in the sun today when I was in the tree stand. I couldn't take it.
Yeah, that was yesterday. When I got, it was Saturday, I went out, and I think it was 83 degrees.
Ugh.
It was brutal.
Man, and it's only going to be worse. We got like one more day here, and then it's going to break, so.
Yeah, we got that nice pile of rain coming in, running my off day for Veterans Day. So I'll sit and edit video all day. And then we get into a cold snap.
Yeah, I'm excited because we got the same thing coming here, so I can't wait, man. Nothing better than that, dude. But it's nice to be back home. I will say that.
It is. It is nice to be home, but
There's some hesitation there, Steve.
I miss the deer in Ohio already.
I wish that we had the deer of Ohio in our home states.
Dude, I wish I had just that kind of property.
It's true.
I mean, it was stupid. Stupid.
It was a great. It's unexplainable, bro. The people that live there are gifted. We'll just leave it at that. I wish I could be there.
Yeah. If I hunted that for 3 or 4 or 5 years hoping to get a big deer, I'd realize I got a lot to learn.
What the hell?
Because week and a half in, we got it done. We should be bringing home what we discussed, 330 inches of bone.
If not more.
We still brought 166 home, but, that damn twig. And we went out there and did that on a week.
Oh.
So can you only imagine if we lived there and could actually study it? It'd be
saddle hunting there would be insane. Could you imagine? It's just those tactics, though. Like, I've always said this, dude, and I know I'm going to get shit for this, and I am sorry, but I have to just let it go. Put Eastern hunters in the Midwest. And
we get shit done.
Get it done.
I mean, it's just 1 week. That's all it took. And it wasn't we got lucky and saw one deer. Every day we saw multiple shooters.
Yeah, I think I tallied up 8 shooters from 120 up.
Yeah. And I think I had 6 above 120.
Yep. So
one of them in the 170 to 180 range. Just saying.
Jesus Christ.
Eastern tactics in the
Mr.
Midwest.
Ohio.
Yeah, it's stupid. If I am watching feeds to make sure nothing happens, because I will be diving my ass back in there next year.
There's no doubt.
I got a vendetta on that son of a bitch.
Yeah, hopefully he doesn't disappear. But I'll tell you, is that I think a Midwest hunt every season would be great.
Oh yeah, yeah. It's hard because I know we have the opportunities in Iowa, we have the opportunities in Illinois, we have opportunities in Kansas, but I'm right now I'm mentally stuck on Mr. Ohio.
And I don't think that we finished what we started in Ohio just yet.
No, that was I think
really
just like
don't.
that was the green light. We haven't hit the red light.
Oh my God. It was just, it was cool, man. And I got to, and you still haven't hunted the mountains of Ohio neither.
Right.
We should have went up there, but that's another whole other experience. And it's like hunting out east in the Midwest.
Yeah. Midwest deer on Eastern terrain. I'm in.
Game over. Not saying that we're the best, but it's just saying that we put ourselves on deer, man, with a little bit of help from the others around us. So it was fucking cool, man.
Yeah.
So what's your
definitely
big
a trip?
Now being back east and home, what is your big plans and what do you got going on, man?
Dude, I'm just diving into 2 or 3 new pieces. Went into where we got those does back at the meat factory. Some great sign, got some cameras hung, got a preset hung. Depending on what the camera pull on Friday looks like, I may hit that all day Saturday. And if there's nothing on the camera worth chasing, I'm going to dive down the river and just do the good old go in at sunup and find the sign and watch those magic hours between 10 to 2, clear through dark and just try to get it done.
It's crazy how much like midday movement there is right now. Like,
oh yeah. It's nuts.
With the heat and everything that's going on, like everyone's like, I don't know why I'd be in the stand. But then you go in the stand and there's just deer everywhere.
Dude,
I mean, not everywhere.
Just look across all the different social feeds right now. People are dropping big deer in 90-degree weather.
The deer don't stop rutting.
It's the rut. They're gonna move.
It still happens in Georgia. It still happens in Tennessee. It still happens in all these southern states that are hot. I mean,
it's all about where you put yourself.
It's so true.
If you're sitting the field edge or the fence row or, you know, all the stupid shit that is standard that you see on TV, yeah, it's going to be slow for you. But you put in the kind of effort we did in Ohio and you get back into those holes, you know, and you're walking in the woods at 4 a.m. to try to find a spot before sunup, and you get back in there, you're going to see deer. It's going to happen.
You get near those beds, those food near beds. I mean, they got to get up, they got to feed, and the bucks are pushing them around out of the beds, and so they're definitely moving. I mean, and there's those days that those deer don't move during the day. I mean, it happens, but 9 times out of 10 when you're in there, them deer are definitely moving this time of year. I mean, it's inevitable, bro. We have tons of friends back home. I mean, those early mornings right now are fire when it's cold in the morning.
Yep.
And it dies down as the day goes on, but I mean, there's still those midday cruisers. So, I mean, you can't miss it. It could be that opportunity. One of the big bucks here was shot down. One of the big ones that a lot of guys were chasing here in Connecticut finally hit the dirt. 2 years in the makings. There's a fucking giant, dude. I bet you it's going to go over 180, 190,
Jeez.
Which is a giant here.
Yeah, that's insane.
He was bigger last year. Seeing all these guys, they were all chasing it. And he was frequenting public land too, but a landowner ended up shooting him. So on the private property. So, but they're getting shot, man. It was the middle of the day, 10 o'clock in the morning. So them big boys are definitely up there moving.
For sure.
I personally got a couple different spots. Went into one and where I shot my buck last year, and big huge scrape line opened up. So, of course, I couldn't help myself, and I went in there and sat this morning. I went in there. I woke up. All right, so this is what happened. I slept in a little bit because I had pulled my back yesterday, and I woke up. It was like 3 o'clock, and I'm like, oh, my back's still kind of fucked up. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go back to sleep, and then I'll get up and I'll do my chores, and then Wednesday's going to rain, Thursday's going to rain, and then I'll hit it hard Friday, Saturday, and then continuing the next week. And then I got text messages from like 3 of my buddies. And they're like, deer's everywhere. There's deer everywhere. And I'm like, fuck, dude, what the hell? So I get up and I went to that spot and I sat there from 8 a.m. till about 3:30 p.m. and didn't see a single fucking deer. So
missed that morning movement.
It happens, man. So tomorrow's going to be real warm. I don't think I'm going to get out in the morning.
I just checked the weather, and at sunup, it's supposed to start raining, and they're calling for almost an inch of rain. So I'm not going to waste my time. I'm going to let it clear the area, kill off all the scent, all the intrusion from last night, putting everything in. And when that rain stops, I'll make my move.
I'm with that, man. It's not going to rain until probably, I don't know, fucking 10 o'clock here. But it's going to be mad warm in the morning, so I figured I'd just sit it out. Let everything kind of calm down, and the rain come, slow everything up, and get back in after it. But it is what it is, man. This weird warm front right in the middle. Like, I'm out there in a T-shirt. Right.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I feel like I'm in Georgia.
Yep. It's stupid. It ain't supposed to be this warm in the middle of November.
Not at all, man. But it is what it is. As the WCB boys say, Dougie, it is what it is.
Crazy shit. Well,
but
I guess as we get rolling, we're just going to have to keep to the grind and make it happen.
Yeah, I foresee some good things happening here, man. I mean, things are really starting to turn up. A lot of deer hitting the ground, some good deer. And then worst comes to worst, man, for us. Shotgun season's about to start. I'm ready.
Muzzleloader's already rolling, and rifle kicks off Saturday.
Oh, that's awesome, man.
So, I don't know. I'm still on the fence. But man, there's nothing like sitting with a 300 Win Mag, knowing that anything within 700 yards is done.
Ooh.
I haven't done it in years, but this year I'm really contemplating
It might just come back, dude. It just might come back.
If I find the right spot, something's going to die.
Somebody had tagged us today. One of the full draw guys. Let me see if I can find it real quick. They had tagged us in one of their posts. Oh, and big congratulations to Scott Shear from Broadside Camo. He knocked down a buck today.
Yeah, he broke his streak, man. Which
is fucking pretty cool, man.
He's been grinding. He's been going at it hard. So I'm glad he finally got it done.
It was Little Lewis 3. He's the new one of the new
full draw team
full draw guys. And he said any more I am filled with a sense of sadness as rifle season approaches. There's a peace throughout the woods that seems to vanish into thin air. During bow season, I feel I am one with the woods. Anyone else feel this way?
Yeah, I saw that.
It's so true, man.
When I was sitting in the stand, like I said, muzzleloader's underway. So sitting in the stand last night, that last hour, I counted 17 shots on the neighboring private. All within hearing range. Of course, I'm in a canyon, so, it travels, but 17 shots.
What do they... I don't get that.
They're sitting on ag fields, and when them deer come out, they pop them. And they're non-discriminate. They're not trophy hunting. They're meat hunting. So if it walks out and it's brown, it's down.
Mountain mutants.
Yeah.
They just let them rip. That's how they feed the fam.
Yep.
That's cool, though. I'm all about it.
So
17's a fucking lot, though.
Well, you've seen what kind of deer and how many deer run through there. So Can you imagine what it looks like over on the private ag?
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, look at the video of all the bucks that were across the river.
Yep.
So it goes to show.
They're there. But I'm hoping that pushes them all off the ag, pressures them, and gets them up where I'm at.
And that's exactly what will happen. So it's all good, man.
Good
You're
shit.
Get some monsters.
That's the hopes. I can't wait to pull these cameras and see what's been making all that fresh sign in there. Fingers crossed that that mountain mutant in there actually is a mountain mutant. And if not, he'll still get whacked.
He'll still get it.
I ain't gonna lie.
Nope.
He's full racked. He's going down.
He's getting the Zeus cut on him, man.
That's right.
Full send. So, well, man, why don't we move this train on?
Yeah, I think we can quit jaw jacking. And from what I'm hearing, I think you ought to turn it up.
Oh, hold on a second.
Hey everyone, Mike here with some news for your cruise. We're going to start this one off in Michigan, where it has been a successful first elk season. There were 100 licenses awarded earlier this year for the 12-day season, which spanned 3 4-day hunts in September and October. Of the 100 licensees, 83 of those hunters and an additional 2 Michigan Pure Hunt winners harvested elk. Of the 85 elk taken, there were 31 bulls, 52 cows, and 2 calves. There is a second season, which will run from December 12th to the 20th, for an additional 160 hunters who drew tags. And there will be a final elk season, which will be held from January 13th to the 17th, if the population management goals have not been met. Good news for the hunters so far, and good luck to those with tags in the upcoming seasons. Now on to a couple states offering refunds for hunters this year. The first being Colorado, due to the continuing wildfires out west. However, not every license is eligible for a refund in Colorado. The wildfires are only impacting certain game management units, so hunters with access to unimpacted GMUs or licenses that are valid in multiple units are not eligible for refunds. The impacted units so far are units 6 through 9, 18 through 20, 24, 25, 28 through 31, 140, S1, and S40. So if you had a hunt impacted by those fires, be sure to check your eligibility for a refund. And if you are eligible, you can also request reinstatement of any preference points used during the draw this year. Refunds are also available for North Dakota whitetail hunters this year. This is due to 12 whitetail units with reports of EHD and due to the widespread reach of the disease in the western part of the state. Hunters with whitetail licenses in units 3D1, 3D2, 3E1, 3E2, 3F1, 3F2, and 4 A, B, C, D, E, and F can turn back licenses for a refund. Bonus points will also be restored to anyone who turns their licenses back in. This means that for North Dakota, there are actually 9,000 license holders who are eligible for refunds this year due to the EHD outbreak. But luckily, North Dakota Fish and Game Department has stated that the current weather pattern is colder than average with below freezing conditions overnight, which will likely end this year's outbreak of EHD in the state. If you are eligible, you need to act fast because your tag and a note requesting a refund must be submitted to the Fish and Game Department by November 5th. So now on to some good news and a possible new world record brown trout being caught in New Zealand. The current record stands at 42 pounds, 1 ounce, caught in 2013. And the angler who caught the massive 44.3 pound brown trout has requested to remain anonymous, but did reveal that the fish was caught in the Mackenzie Hydro Canals. The fisherman actually took the catch to the Raza Bar and Bistro in Twizzle and has donated the massive fish to the bar to be taxidermied and hung on the wall with the 38.9 pound and 38.2 pound trout that are currently there. So a great catch. Congratulations to the angler and a great gesture from this fisherman to donate that catch. So we're going to wrap this one up with a little bit more of a controversial topic, and that being gray wolves. So last Thursday, gray wolves were removed from the endangered species list in the lower 48 states after more than 45 years. This move is drawing praise from those who want to see the species managed by state and tribal governments, and is receiving harsh criticism from those who believe the protection should remain until the wolves inhabit more of their historical range. So now management of the species will revert back to local wildlife agencies, which was already the case in Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming, where hunting of wolves is already permitted. Not sure how I feel about this one yet, but I sure am interested to see how the states plan to manage the species moving forward, and if that will include any hunting in additional states. As always, if you have any news, please reach out to me. Haven't seen anything coming in lately. Mike Salter on Facebook or bearded_bowhunter21 on Instagram. And with that, enjoy the rest of your ride.
Good to go, man. Thanks, Mikey. Appreciate it, dude. I hope you have a good season, as I say all the time. I know you're going to get out this weekend and hunt it up. So,
hell yeah, we're waiting on the pictures, brother.
I know it's going to come. And you better call me and let me know. Don't do this alone. He knows what I'm talking about. So,
good shit.
Good old Mikey, always dropping the news, dropping it hot. So, why don't we thank the sponsors or the people that help us, that we're partnered with, and get on with the show.
Yeah, let's do it, man. Take it away.
All right. First off, I'd like to thank Nor'easter Game Calls, nor'eastergamecalls.com. Go and check them out. Get all your custom calls. Y'all know what's already there. So, Wild Edge Inc., wildedgeinc.com, the leader in mobile hunting. Out on the Limb manufacturing.com. So, Out on the Limb, mfg.com. Broadside Camo, broadsidecamo.com. Use promo code Outdoor Drive on that one. Also, I hate this part.
Come on, you got it. You're so close. I think
it's Timber Tumblers.
That's right. I was gonna say we drank from it all week.
That's it. If you guys haven't been there, check them out. timbertumblers.com. They are custom tumblers Jason over there at Timber Tumblers. He is actually official sponsor of the Outdoor Drive podcast and the only cup we drink out of here at the Outdoor Drive podcast.
There you go.
So check him out, man. And I know that there's a link on his page to get yourself your own custom timber tumbler with your name on it if you want. Or in Steven's case, you can have your logo on the back of it.
That's right. Fully customizable.
That's it, man. So check them out. timbertumblers.com. Boom, boom.
Well, brother.
And if you go to our website, theoutdoordrive.com, all of the links to all of the people that we partner and are sponsored by and up-to-date shit, you can go on there and check it out. So just go and check it out. It's cool.
Definitely.
Shit
Yeah.
there.
And a quick add-on to that, if you're listening to us on Apple, please give us a 5-star review. Type in something nice in there. We greatly appreciate it. It helps us sing going. Jump on our YouTube. Check out the videos. We got something really nasty coming. Just stand by. I hope to have the edit finished soon. It's definitely daunting to make this as good as the hunt itself was, but it will be up. While you're in there, make sure to subscribe, like the videos, leave us a comment, good, bad, or ugly. I don't care. Just give us a little something. And stay tuned because we're going to have a hell of a lot more coming. Well, brother, what do you think?
Let's go. Time's up.
Time's up.
Time is up.
All right. Well, let's get Time's Up online. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Here we go.
Nice shot. Here comes a shooter. Shooter. Big buck. Stacked.
All right. We're back on the phone with Niko. What's up, man?
What's up, guys? Appreciate you having me on.
Hey, thanks for taking the time to do it, dude. It's the middle of the rut. You know, things get a little tough.
Yeah. No, it's all good. Happy to be on here. Should be a good time.
Well, why don't you tell everyone, man, who you are, man, where you're from, and what you do?
Yeah, so my name is Niko. I'm from the middle of nowhere, Michigan, pretty much. I am a firefighter by trade. That's my full-time job, Detroit firefighter. And then myself and now 3 other firemen, we run a outdoor show called Time's Up Outdoors. And it's on Carbon TV and some YouTube and all your normal social media jazz. But basically what that is a couple of years ago, John, my buddy John, who runs it with me, got a hold of me and said, "Hey, you want to film your hunts?" And I was like, I've done it since 2012. And I was like, "No, man, not really, not anymore." I did it professionally for a little bit. I worked for the Outdoor Channel for a show on the Outdoor Channel, Fear No Evil with Psycho Chris Brackett for a little bit. And so I got back out of the industry. I'm like, no, I do it for me now, and like social media stuff. But he talked me into it. We had some beers and we went off and Scott joined in. And it just kind of keeps going and growing a little bit. It's all meant to just be fun. We're as blue collar as we can try to be. We drink a lot of beer on the show and talk a lot of shit and kill some stuff in between. And it's a mix of firehouse life and outdoors. So it's a pretty good time. Real lighthearted. It's not your cookie cutter show. We don't make any money. We're not sponsored by nobody. So it's all just
out there doing it like good old boys.
Yeah, man. Just want to share the love of it all and try to spread the word, get new people involved. We're big on getting kids and anybody new into the outdoors. That's like a goal every year to get 1 or 2 people started. And we've been very successful in that. So we do some hunt giveaways. We take people out, and we don't have any huge farms or anything like that, but we know enough people where we can make it happen.
So you just have like your own little mentoring system where that's pretty badass.
Yeah, that was big with me, man, growing up. I was real fortunate. My dad moved us out of Detroit when I was a young kid, and he ended up in the middle of nowhere somehow. And then he bought 20 acres and built a house on it. So that's where I grew up more or less since the time I was about 10. and I had a bow in my hand forever. My dad didn't hunt until we moved out there. So he taught himself everything and then just kind of taught me. And it was huge to me that I did that. So it kept me out of trouble because I was kind of a shithead growing up. So
I hear that.
Basically kept me from being a real shithead. And because of that, I just always felt that I need to get some of these kids out there, you know, some less fortunate kids or just somewhere they might not have anywhere to go or nobody to teach them. So I focus on that. I like taking kids out.
That's awesome. Does the state make it so that it's easy for you to bring like mentor kids and stuff? Because I know like some states are tough.
Yeah, it changed. So when I was a kid, you had to be 12 to use a bow to deer hunt and 14 for a gun. And now you have a mentor program. So as long as you're with somebody over 21, I think it is, and they have a license, you can buy them a youth license and they can hunt. So you don't even have to take hunter safety your first year.
Wow.
It's pretty nice. It's real convenient. I don't take a lot of kids deer hunting when they're young, but I take anybody I can turkey hunting. That's like, that's how I get you outdoors through the turkey woods. I kill turkeys, and we have a ton of them around. So, you know, kids are easy. You can put them in a blind and they can do whatever they want. And when turkey comes in, just try not to miss. So.
Yeah.
And that's a big hook.
Yeah.
The interaction, it gives you that, you know, the word I'm looking for, I guess, would be engage the entire hunt.
Oh, yeah.
As opposed to deer hunting where it's, you know, sit still, be quiet, wait, you know, they can move, they can do things, you know, and that, in my opinion, is the best way to bring youth in.
Yeah. And you don't have to worry about scent. You don't have to be cold. They don't have to sit still. You know, you can put them in a blind and move around. You don't have to get up at 4 a.m. If you want to go out at noon, I'll take you out at noon. Well, I don't care. We can hunt all day in Michigan. So
that's awesome, man. Because like here in Connecticut, like I bring youths, or I try to anyways, but a lot of times they have to have the hunter safety. And it's so tough because you can't get a new kid into it because now they got to go take a hunter safety course. So then you can only pick people who have been around the hunting world because their parents or whatever. So you're only taking a small, so you don't it's a small percentage of kids that you're actually be able to get into the outdoors.
So in Connecticut, they don't have a, what's the word? Wow, I'm spacing tonight, man. I still
mentor?
Mentor program.
Yeah.
No, you have to have a hunter safety course.
Wow.
Before you can go and hunt, which sucks, man, because so many kids I know that want to go and do it, but it's like you got to go to get a hunter safety course thing first.
Yeah, I know down here in Virginia we have apprentice tags.
Yeah.
So they can get an apprentice license on an apprentice tag and go with a licensed hunter and get them involved that way. And then they do the hunter safety course.
Wow.
I'm glad 100% honest with it, or not 100% sure. If I was to look it up, I don't know what the hunter safety rule is for Michigan anymore. I got mine when I was a kid, but I've taken people out. I never even asked if they had hunter safety or not, but they just give them a driver's license and they get a tag. So I don't know.
I like that rule.
Failing in that, or if I don't even know what the rule is on it. I just whatever, man.
They're out there hunting, man. That's all that matters.
Yeah, I just want to
bust their ass.
You got a tag, you're legal. I'm not going to let you do anything super stupid. You're standing by me, so we'll figure it out.
Right.
Yeah. You've been around that enough. No.
Yeah.
They got the tag.
You don't need a tag.
Sorry, I didn't mean to go there.
No, it goes there pretty often.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
No, I'm definitely not sensitive about it. Don't worry.
Okay, all right. I'm sorry.
I got out before all that happened. I missed all that. I was free and clear when all that went down. Thank God.
You were smart.
Yeah, I left when I saw you could pretty much see it, so I was getting out of there. I was surprised with the stuff that he got in trouble for as far as the poaching. The cameraman side of it, I was not surprised by.
Right.
I was surprised to see him break a law, though. He wasn't – none of that went down when I was around him.
Crazy.
I don't have a bad word to say about him other than he's a hothead motherfucker, but he'd say that too.
You can see that.
Yeah, that dude hired me for no reason. He had no reason to hire me. He should have never hired me, and he gave me a shot. And it was so I'll always be appreciative to him for it, for sure, man. He hooked me up big time. He gave me a place to live. He gave me a free bow. I mean, he gave me everything I could have needed, and I got to film. I thought I was living the dream. You know, that was my dream job growing up.
Right.
I learned in about 3 months. No, it ain't.
No. It all changes when you put a camera in.
What's it like, man?
I went there, so we didn't even get to hunt. I went there early summer. I was heating and cooling at the time, and I loved his show. I loved Aerial Affliction growing up. That was my favorite show, man. So I was a big fan of Chris. I thought he was a cool dude. So he would do this thing when he was driving on trips. He would make phone calls, I think, just to pass the time. So if you like shot him his number, he would call you if he was bored. So he called me one night and I asked him how to get on. He was like, just start filming everything. I picked up a camera and started filming everything in 2012. And I was filming shit. And then one day he's like, I need a cameraman. I didn't know why somebody that big would need a cameraman that bad. Like, no, why nobody would work for him. Figured it out, but I didn't know at the time. So I took my iMovie and all my stuff I recorded, it was just kill shots. And I sent him anything I could kill, from squirrels to birds to deer, turkeys, anything I killed. I just sent him like a 4-minute clip of shit dying. Horrible video. I mean, garbage editing. There was nothing good about it. Bad footage. But he was like, you know how to kill shit. I'll figure the rest out. Whenever you can move down here, move down here. That was a Friday. So I quit my job Friday night and I moved to Illinois Monday.
Jeez.
And then basically it was summertime. So we were setting up all the properties. So we were filming food plots and all that stuff. You know, he was sponsored by a bunch of guys at the time. And then doing like all the trade shows and the expos and all that jazz. Traveling around the country, filming all of that, doing all that, practicing. And then we would stay up when we were in town. Basically, I had my place, he had his, and we would meet up at one of the two houses and we'd watch hunting shows until 3, 4 in the morning and take notes like a football coach watching the other team. Like what we liked, what we disliked, what angles were good, what they did that was good. I mean, we broke it down. And that's what made his show so good. That and his producer or editor at the time was the best in the game, which was Chip City Spalding.
Oh, yeah.
That dude's a legend as far as I'm concerned. So, but he was good, man. The way he filmed the shows, and we filmed episodes and stuff. Like we were filming episodes in August for a deer he had killed in November the year before. Like that was which is how a lot of these shows work. You know, there's a lot of acting involved in it. And that was when I realized I didn't want to be a part of it anymore. I was like, I can't lie like this.
Yep.
Or you're flat out lying to people on how shit went down. And that's everybody, man. It ain't just, trust me, it's not just Chris. I met the whole industry through all that shit. They all suck for the most part. Almost all of those guys are assholes. They run their mouths about their fans. They lie about their show. Their sponsors are fake. Or not, they're fake, but they don't even use half of them.
Right.
They use a different broadhead completely and show that one that they're using and stuff like that. The only guy I met that I thought was legit was Tim Wells. He was cool as shit, man. He was the only one that was like, this dude's not lying about anything. His show's real. He's real. His family's real. And I know there are shows that are having kids just to have the look of a kid on the show.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean?
It sells.
It just whatever sells. And I get it. It's a business, but that's not how I wanted to live. I can't lie to people like that. I felt like scum for doing it. So
I feel that one.
Yeah.
So that's kind of why you've taken the turn and kind of done the whole Time's Up thing the way that you have?
Yeah, there's not a lie in it. I can't do it. Like, you know, you guys have seen all the hunting shows. You'll see a shot, and they'll shoot something, and then you'll see like a angle of them drawing the bow in the episode, you know, as the deer's coming in. I'm like, yeah, that's shot with a drone. Like,
yeah, exactly.
What do you mean, man? That's fake. Stop.
Yep.
Nobody cares that much anyway. I mean, when do you watch the show and be like, damn, I really needed to see him draw right there? Like, we try. I'll put GoPros and shit and over the shoulders, and if we get it, cool, but I'm not faking it. I'm not an actor.
Right.
I'm not here to kill shit, and hopefully I get it on camera. Fuck, half the time it don't even happen.
Yep.
It's tough. It's not an easy thing. That's why they don't do it, because it's so tough to do it, man. And
well, how many deer in Ohio alone would have died had we not been trying to play with a camera?
Oh,
yeah, that camera cost us quite a few bucks.
I have a couple of bucks that were on camera that went out of frame, or when you would have went to go shoot, or, you know, obviously I shot and missed that one. That wasn't on film, but I had him. He came out of frame. That shit happens all the time, man. The buck I shot last year, I was trying to film it, and then he was running after a doe, and then I was trying to film it, and then he went out of frame, and I went out of my life, couldn't take a shot at him, and then about a minute later, he comes running back after a doe, and I was like, fuck that camera. I'm going to shoot this thing. Like, I don't even care about the camera as much as I want to get it.
He said the buck was coming right down the trail, filming the whole thing, all perfect, and all of a sudden he made a hard left, and it was like, now or never. So We don't make money off of this, so I'm not losing
Right.
big deer over it. It is what it is.
Yep.
I mean, it's nice when it all comes together, man. It is. If it's meant to be, it will happen. I promise you. I
Yeah,
believe in that, dude.
After this
We got
trip,
a film
yes.
to make with Carbon now. We got to put out X amount of episodes, and we've got some stuff that we have to do.
Mhm.
But I'll find a way to make an episode out of something else before I let a good buck get by me because of it. And I mean, it still happens. Just fiddling around with the camera, you'll lose deer because of it, man. It's extra noise, it's extra scent, it's extra movement.
Yep.
You're gonna screw yourself sometimes. But now I can't go to the woods without a camera. I feel naked.
Oh, yeah. I'll vouch for that. I walked off and left the camera in the truck one day during this trip, and I got into the stand and set up, and I stood there going, something's wrong.
Yeah.
And when I realized it, I was like, damn it. And the whole hunt, that whole day, you feel naked. It's like, okay, I have a bow and a rangefinder.
Yeah.
This is weird.
Then you start thinking something really cool is about to happen, and I'm definitely not.
Oh, and it did. It did. I missed out on some of the most epic footage I could have ever got if I'd have had the camera that day. But you know what? If I'd have had the camera, I may not ever had the chance at the footage.
Right. Yeah, it wouldn't happen.
Being able to sit there still, not worried about a camera, things naturally happen. When you throw in that movement, like you're saying, it tends to screw things up.
Yeah, for sure.
So-
I mean, there's a lot of extra. My camera arm squeaked this morning. It was dead quiet, and that stupid thing, I couldn't believe it. It's never squeaked before. It makes it squeak. I don't think it's spooked anything, but that was the first thing that went to my mind. I was like, I made it in here, all the way in here without making a sound. I get up in the tree, and I squeak.
And that's all it takes for your mind to go 3 million directions. What did I just ruin?
Yep. But, yeah.
So how's your season been thus far?
It started off awesome, man. My first couple days I hunt in Michigan, primarily 2 different farms. I went a totally different route. I wanted to do no trail cameras for the first time that I can remember. I just wanted to hunt deer. I felt like I was missing out on opportunities because I was so focused on, I've been getting deer on this camera over here.
Yep.
And focusing too much on it. So I kind of wanted to hunt the sign a little bit more. I got the saddle now. I'm going to try to hunt deer a little bit more than hunt pictures. So I still saw deer while I was scouting, driving around. So I knew I had 2 bucks on one farm I wanted. And I didn't know anything about the other farm. I had no photos, no anything. So my first sit, we had a good wind. I said, I'm going to go right into this bedroom where I think this buck lives. It's cold. And I'm going to try to kill him. Hunted it all morning, got down about 10 a.m., climbed out of my tree, and he was 70 yards in front of my tree stand the whole morning, bedded down, and never knew he was there.
Yep.
He stood up out of his bed, looked at me like, what the hell is that? And then just kind of slowly bounded away. And I haven't seen him since. So I don't have any cameras there. I don't know if I spooked him out or if I just ruined that bed. Who knows? And then at the next hunt, I saw my number 2 buck on that farm. He was about 80 yards away. And then I put a couple cameras out on my main farm as I was hunting. I was like, well, I'm going to put a couple just see as the season goes, put them over scrapes now. Here we go. And I got the biggest Michigan buck I've ever had on camera on one of my farms. So then my life changed and I hunted that farm.
That'll do it.
I've seen him. I saw him one day. I saw him one day at about 10:30 in the morning pushing does around in the swamp. And he's still around. He's still alive, but I haven't got a crack at him yet.
Jesus.
But we hunted that for most of the rut. I was in Missouri for the last 7 days. Yeah, 7 days we're in Missouri. We did public land. Myself, Scott, and my dad went. We went to the northwest corner of the state on a big. So Missouri's got public land that's bow and muzzleloader only and bow only and all that. So I used to hunt the northeast corner. It's been great. I haven't killed a deer there, but I've seen some giants, had some opportunities I just choked on. But I wanted to hunt the northwest corner. I love Kansas, and that terrain is similar to Kansas, so I wanted to go there. So we got to our first piece of public ground. It was bow and muzzleloader only. A big piece. It was like 3,600 acres, which I think was my mistake. I found a piece that was too big. And there's 2 campgrounds on it where you can stay. Probably 20-plus trucks there the first night we were there.
Right.
I mean, I saw more people than deer. By the time I found a spot that didn't have any people in it, it still had 2 tree stands on it. So I felt like the mature deer weren't going to be doing what they would be doing just from the pressure on that farm. So we drove east, found another piece with much less people on it, another good chunk of land, kind of in the middle of nowhere. And we had some good days, man. We saw, like I said, my dad missed a buck. Scott got to full draw on a buck, and I just couldn't quite make it happen. He got to full draw second time, couldn't make it happen. My dad had a 140, almost run him over. He was walking to his spot, had a doe come running at him, knocked his arrow, came to full draw. She turned, and a spike and a 140 were following her.
Oh.
He said literally 5 feet from, like, if he didn't draw, the doe probably would have bounced off him. So, but he couldn't stop him. He was at a dead sprint, so he kept going. I had what I thought was about a 120-inch buck coming in. He got to 10 yards, and then I realized he didn't have any G3s, so he was just a giant frame 6-point. So you can't kill 6 points, so you got to have 4 points on one side.
Right.
Yeah, so I probably would have shot him because it was our last night, but he walked away. So it was a good week of hunting. We met some cool people. Some boys from Minnesota were out there that we became buddies with. They shot a little buck. So that was cool. They had a camper that they're living in for the week from Minnesota, but it had hydraulics that lowered right to the ground, and it's an ice fishing shanty that they badass, man.
That is badass.
That's sweet.
Cool. I was like, that thing is cool. He said that's a common thing where they're from, wherever they're at. So it was cool, man. It was all pine wood on the inside. It had a little Jack Daniels on tap in there. It was sweet. That thing's cool.
I guess you guys are hanging out there a lot then.
Yeah, buddies them real quick.
That's awesome, man.
I came back today. We drove through the night so that we could hunt that following night. And my dad got home, washed his gear because we were sweating our asses off in 70-degree Missouri every day.
Yep.
Washed his stuff, took a nap, went out and pulled a buck an hour into a sit back in Michigan. So
that's awesome.
It worked out good, man. I can't play. My brother shot a 146-inch on October 2nd, all on camera. We just released that episode a couple days ago. That deer was cool, man. Bucky called Medusa. I was super pumped for him. He did everything right. The buck read the script. He did it all right. So, yeah, we got a 146 and another Pope and Young down already. So
that's a good damn season.
Yeah, the boys are doing good. I can't complain. I only shoot a Michigan buck like once every 3 years. Seems to be about average. Just the farms that we hunt, and that's about it takes me about 3 years to get a mature deer to walk by me again. So I did
Nothing wrong with that.
and it's been 2 years since. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah,
So
you
this
do.
is the year.
Yeah, you do.
So do you guys only deer hunt, or you guys do a little bit of everything?
Everything, man. That used to be my thing. I joked about was if I can get a tag for it, I'll hunt it. So turkeys and deer are our biggest push. Do a lot of bow fishing. We didn't do as much this year. A lot of walleye fishing on the Detroit River because that's what it's known for is walleye. So we do a ton of that. John's pretty big into bird hunting. Like he takes a trip to West Virginia every year to go hunt grouse.
Yep.
Stuff like that. Scott does a bear hunt every year in Canada, except for COVID killed that. We did a bear hunt last year. COVID killed that. We do a little muskie fishing, a bunch of pike fishing, a lot of ice fishing and spearing and stuff like that. Anything duck hunting, big waterfowl, geese in September. Michigan gets pretty decent. My brother's a waterfowl freak. I mean, he's about as hardcore as they come, so I follow him around and just do what he tells me to do, and we shoot a bunch of ducks.
Well, that works because he has the decoys and everything you need. You just go out there and have the fun part.
Yeah, he's my younger brother, so I compiled decoys as I grew up, and then he became a duck freak, so I just leave all my stuff at his house now.
Hell yeah.
Meet you out there, bud.
Just hunt
Yeah.
with them.
I keep telling Trev I'm not going to get into waterfowl because I already dumped too much money into deer.
Man, it's expensive, but it is a good time. Scott did it for the first time, and he said the same thing. He's like, I can't do this too much. If I start to like it, then I'm going to spend way too much money.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
We do a youth waterfowl. Like the youth waterfowl hunt in Michigan is awesome every year. So I'll take kids out duck hunting just because I can't shoot them yet, and I want them to be able to get shot. So we take kids out for that every year. And
I think that's a big bonus of the youth hunting because you get to go out in the woods and you know where all the animals are, and they're not going to fuck up because they're going to still be there in the early season.
The ducks we've had some amazing duck hunts, and like these kids sometimes they can't shoot for shit, and we're still getting limited mallards coming in the fields and stuff. It's like, man, I never get these kind of hunts. They're gone. They migrate by the time we can hunt ducks.
Right.
These bastards don't even know how good you got it right now. I never had this shit growing up.
Yeah, until they get older, and then they don't have that, and then it's shitty, and they'll be like, well, that one time when I was a kid, I got to shoot all these ducks.
It's cool, though, man. A kid I took turkey hunting and duck hunting. He had never hunted before. His family didn't really hunt a little bit. I see him on social media now. He just graduated college, so he's probably 20, 21, 22. He is hammering ducks. He's big into deer. Like, it's cool. So we took him out, and he's been doing it ever since. His little brother's into it with him now. I love that shit, man. It's been fun.
It's
Yeah,
so
that's what
cool
it's
to see
about.
that.
Yeah, it's been great. Scott got a buddy of his, city kid, met him through CrossFit or some shit. Just said he wanted to learn how to do it. Next 2 or 3 years later now, he's canoeing in some public land in the middle of nowhere. He bought himself all brand new shit, and he's killing deer on public land. Like he's teaching us how to do shit all of a sudden. The dude ate it up. I love that stuff, man. That's my favorite.
That's what it is, man. The student's supposed to outlearn the teacher, man. That's just
I'm
the
all
way it
about it.
goes.
I
Hell
keep
yeah.
one of these guys is going to have a really good farm. They're going to let me come hunt one of these days.
The average is going to go up, but then
Yep.
Somebody's grandma's going to have a farm they didn't even think about one of these days.
True story.
that's what it's all about, man.
That or they're going to marry into a 2-section woman.
Yeah. That's all you need right there.
Yep.
Yep.
So with you guys being now, are you guys all firefighters or it's just you?
Yeah, so Scott, John, and myself started it. My dad has always had a big hand in it. He likes to film, so he'll film whatever he can. He's a firefighter as well. And then my brother just got on. He's almost 2 years into it now. So yeah, we're all firemen down there.
How do you guys balance like being a firefighter and the outdoors? And
Oh, that's the easiest part, man. We only work. Our regular schedule is 9 days a month, 24-hour shift.
oh wow,
Yeah, it's great.
what the?
Yeah.
It's crazy as hell.
We
I'm
work a day.
thinking life choices.
Yeah. I mean, we all have second jobs,
Right.
but we all own our own second businesses. So I can pick and choose when I'm working and when I'm not. So
Yeah,
do a lot
fair
of
enough.
midday work come hunting season.
Yeah, I bet.
Fucking awesome, man.
Yeah, so it's 24 hours on, 24 off, 24 on, 72 off. You do that 3 times in a row, and then you get 5 days off, and then it basically starts over again.
Wow.
That's nuts. That's
But
awesome.
you guys are crazy
nuts.
busy when you're at work.
Yeah, most days for sure. It kind of goes in waves, but yeah, as far as firefighting goes in this country, yeah, we're busy. It goes by the house too. It depends on where you're at. Scott and I run at the same firehouse. John runs at a very nearby one. My dad runs at a nearby one. And that whole area of the city it's Brocken. We get it. If we don't have at least one structure fire in a day, it's very surprising.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, we usually get 1 to 3. This time of year, it's busy right now.
Yeah, I would assume with the holidays and everything popping up and all of that, it's really going to pick up.
Crazy. Yep. Yeah,
Jeez.
the first heat wave, and then the first cold wave, and holidays will get it going. And there's
Really?
stuff in between. There's always somebody burning down something.
You don't think about it, like, because we're all from, the rural area. You don't, a house fire, like, you hear about it once every year,
Yeah.
like a big house fire. But I guess in the city, I guess it's got to be pretty crazy.
Yeah, it's funny. My dad, he was a fireman growing up. He's got 30. When I was growing up, he was a fireman. His dad was as well. I'm third generation, so I kind of lived around it. So to me, it was normal. And they fought way more fire back then, like the 80s, 90s, and early 2000s.
Oh, yeah.
They were having 5 to 7 fires a day. Like that
Yeah.
That was
Back
nothing.
when there were no codes, no regulations.
Well, I mean, and Detroit went from booming to rubble really quick.
Right.
So in that 20-year span, they burned everything. That was how they handled things. So, yeah, he did it in the busiest time. So, we missed all the real firefighting. We're still busy as far as, cities go. But as far as how Detroit goes, the old guys laugh at us when we think we're tired.
They're fighting fires for 24 to 48 hours.
Yeah, they've all got stories of coming to work and going to a fire and never coming back, going to another one, and just rolling.
I couldn't
Crazy.
imagine. And I bet you the whole COVID thing has been kind of crazy in the city.
It was insane. Detroit was a hot spot for a while there. It got pretty bad. We were over the top busy with it. It sucked for a little while. I'm not gonna lie, man. It's pretty much. I haven't had a true COVID run that I know of here. Knock on wood, in a little while. I know it's coming back and the numbers are going up. Yeah, I know people that are getting it. John actually just had it a couple weeks ago. But I'd be very surprised to see it come back in the force that it did.
Right.
Months
Yeah, I
ago.
think a lot of it's run its course.
It was insane though for a little bit. It was somebody who doubted it and talked shit about it. I was slapped in the face with it.
Really?
Yeah, man. I'm in a pretty busy part of the city. There's a lot of people still in my chunk of the city. So we do a lot of medical runs too on top of our fire. We're medical responders as well. So yeah, man, we were doing COVID runs all damn day for probably about a month. It was CPR a lot. It got pretty hectic.
That's
Crazy.
nuts. I couldn't even imagine, bro.
Yeah, it gets still. It is the greatest job in the world, though, man. I wouldn't pay for nothing. I fucking love it. It's
Really?
so damn fun. Yeah, man. I love going to work. It's great.
Or you
It's
go
always a
home
new
and
adventure.
you have a sense of accomplishment at the end of the day.
Yeah, man,
did
like-
something that mattered.
I'm lucky to have a fiance who's a cop, so she kind of gets it. You know, the pride you get in it. Like I'll come home after a couple good fires, and it's my adrenaline's still high. You know,
Oh yeah,
it's like shooting. It's the only thing that I can find that comes close to shooting deer. Like that
Really?
adrenaline rush. Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
badass.
my dad, who's been doing it a long time, said the only thing that topped it was jumping out of a plane. That's the only adrenaline rush he can got. And my buddy John said the only thing that's beat that is being shot at, and he was a military rat. So
yep. Like, get jumped out of a plane and get shot at as you come down. That's the rush.
yeah, that's the ticket.
Trust me, you can't beat that. You'll never match that.
Yeah, so it's a rush, man. I fucking love it. I'd fight fire every day for sure if they'd let me.
And they won't though, right? Why do they do like this the 9 days or whatever, the 20?
Oh, yeah, you got to relax. You got to mentally. It'll kick your ass. You can work every other day. Like you can get overtime and stuff like that. Like you'll get overtime shifts. So like usually, before I started my second business, I was working 9 to 11 days a month. That's 2 overtime days, which is an extra, it's extra 48 hours. It piles on pretty quick. So, but it's basically you can't work 48 hours in a row. It's mentally, man, it kicks your ass. You never really sleep. Like even if you're asleep at the firehouse, you're always on edge. You're ready to be woken up at any second. So you never really get into that good sleep. You're never really relaxed. You're mentally always kind of ready to go. So, and that probably goes away or it goes easier as you get on longer. I've only been on 4 years, so I'm sure that relaxes as you go, but I'm still on edge all the time, ready to jump at whatever it is.
Young guy, yeah.
I want to go
Still
to
wet behind the ears.
yeah, I want to go to it all. Scott and John got 6 years. I got 4. My brother's got 2. So,
Wow.
and my
So I
dad-
guess the outdoors is kind of the relaxation part for you guys to be out and doing that.
oh my God, yeah. I grew up out in the middle of nowhere, and then you go work in Detroit. It's a pretty hectic city, man. There's from gunshots and fires and babies. Scott has seen at the same corner 2 babies fall out of a car. Like not like kids that crawled out of a car. I'm talking babies somehow were put out of a car. Like so, the woods are a good place to go and chill out and relax. And as much as I love working for that city, and there's some amazing people and citizens and things to do there, and it's a fun place. I'm happy to relax and get out of there after I've done a couple stints in a row with it.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And spend time with the boys. It's probably why you guys drink a lot of beer.
Yeah, beer helps. Beer
helps. Agreed.
helps. Whatever it is, it helps.
I'm not sure what, but it does. It does what it needs to do. That's awesome, man. So that's cool, man. The show, and what really, what drove you to do it, to get back into it again, though? Full-fledged like that? I know that, you kind of got talked into it, but...
Yeah, John met me up at a bar, and I never really met John before. I knew who he was. I had seen him at some fires. Same with Scott. I knew who they were. But I met John up at the bar, and he was fired up about it, man. I think he thought it was his next $1 million idea, so I had to talk him out of that. But John grew up in the AV world, so he worked for a huge audio and visual company, setting up shows and doing that stuff all the time. He's worked for some major bands and done all kinds of cool shit. So he's an audio and video freak. So I was excited to have that guy on because I'm not that. I'm not a super technical person. Scott's like a social media guru. He's amazing at it. He studies the shit out of anything he does. So I think just kind of hearing the team and then being with a couple of like-minded guys, I really didn't see a negative in it. I figured we'd give it a go, and if it sucked, we'd be done. And who cares? Whatever. It's not a big deal, but
right.
It got fun in a hurry. Scott went into it I'll get a GoPro and I'll put it on my bow and I'll film my hunts. And now Scott's got multiple drones and all the cameras. It took off, and once we realized, oh shit, you can't do it with any of this. We're all kind of the same personality where if we're going to do it, we're going to go after it. So
what are some of the goals that you guys have for the future?
it's weird, man. Like I said from the get-go, I'm not doing TV. I was like, I'm not getting on TV. I'm not paying somebody $10,000 for 13 weeks of airtime. I'm just never going to do that. So Carbon TV, we got onto Carbon TV from our buddy Kyle Greenway. It's another show called Greenway Outdoors. They're a Michigan show, and they got on, and they kind of took us under their wing. We're totally different shows. We are not. They're like a Christian-based family show. We are not. As much as we try to keep it as clean as we can. It's not. We're just not. I'm not going to pretend to be that. So, but Kyle took us under his wing, got us involved in Carbon, and we talked to the owners, Jules McQueen, Autumn, and all them out there, and I just like their ideas, man. They're like, yeah, you can drink, you can swear. She gave us like some things you can't say, and it was some shit that I'd get fired for if I did say. So,
right.
Yeah, okay, that's all right. And I just like that there's nothing holding us back. They put one commercial into it because
it's normally a Chevy or Ford commercial.
Chevy commercial, yep, every time. So, and that's cool, whatever. And then we got to pick how long our episodes were. We pretty much pick when they air. We just had to fulfill the number that they want because they want decent content, and it can't suck was pretty much her thing.
Right.
But
so
it's like
the goal off of that, I guess, is just to keep going with it. I would love to make a few dollars off of this, or at least enough to pay for a couple trips. I guess if I was to be honest with it, that would probably be a goal, to find a way to make just enough money to pay. I want to take my dad on a moose hunt one day. Like, however I can get enough money to pay for that, that would be like my ultimate goal. I don't give a shit about the TV. I don't really care about any of that other stuff. Whatever that is, cool. But I'll never sell myself to do it.
Right.
So it might not be achievable because of that. I'm not going to pretend to love this broadhead if I don't shoot that broadhead. I'm just not going to do it. I don't care that much.
I think the industry needs more guys like you guys. And I think that's like where Carbon TV kind of has taken it. It seems that across the board, everybody that's on Carbon TV is that real dudes. They're not filming it 6 months after they shoot it. They're real blue-collar, hard-working dudes, and they're really starting to change the industry to the way that it's supposed to be.
Yeah, Carbon's done a nice job of so they have some big-name shows. They got Waddell and Lakoski's and a few other big names on their stuff, and they should. It helps them grow. But they do the Carbon Awards. They do a few different awards they give away. Those guys are never on it. I think they just, for whatever the reason is, that's just not their way. I don't know what people are paying or what's got to be paid and all this and that, but people can now see, you turn on, pick a show on the Outdoor Channel for the most part, and you can see the fake shit. Like, anybody who's paid attention. Oh, yeah. Filming is so easy to start now. You can get softwares on your computers, and you pick up a camera for a couple grand, and you're in.
Yep.
That's a high-end stuff. You don't even have to have anything that expensive. So it doesn't take long for you to realize, that's fake. And I think people are tired of the bullshit. It's kind of like media, mainstream media. People are tired of being lied to and fooled by a bunch of shit that really isn't important. So why are we pretending it is? So I think people are starting to see that, and it's a lot more fun to just be real, man. Outdoorsmen, for the most part, are blue-collar dudes. We don't need you selling us shit. We don't have enough money to buy half of it anyway. I'm not buying your shit every time. I would love to. It's amazing. I can't afford it. So
it's true.
It is what it is.
Yeah.
So, we don't need the latest and the greatest.
Yeah, your $700 pair of pants does not appeal to me.
No. Yeah, that's cool that you can have it, but I'm not going to pretend I can, so I don't give a shit. I don't need to hear your 45 seconds about how it had helped you kill your deer in the tree stand that somebody hung for you that you paid $4,500 to go sit in.
Yes,
no,
exactly.
Man. I'm not down in it. I guide, too. I'm an outfitter, too, for turkeys. I'll take you out there all day. You want to give me your money? Let's go, man. But I'm not going to pretend to be something else out of it.
Yeah, and I'm 100% with you. And that's one thing since we switched over and started kicking a lot of film. You can really sit and look at any production, and you know what was shot during the hunt and what was not.
Yeah.
Because I absolutely refuse to use anything in our videos that was not shot during the hunt. I I don't care if it's B-roll of the moon or the sun going down in a time lapse. If it didn't come from that hunt, it's not going in the video.
Yeah, I don't like it. It feels like I'm lying. Like I said, we did an episode, man, and we filmed it. And you can move, like, if you're real good at editing and producing, you can move arrows, like, in flight and make it look like you hit a deer in a different spot.
Yep.
I've seen it. I'm like, I'm not that good. I ain't taking that much time to edit anything. But just to lie to 2 million plus viewers on them big networks,
yeah,
ain't for me, man. And then you see how big these guys get. Some of the people that I looked up to growing up, I meet them in the industry, and they're like, after the show is done and we're getting together to drink, and they're talking shit about everybody, man.
Yep.
This, that, and the other. Bro, all he wanted was a fucking signature and to shake your hand and you're to talk shit. He's the reason you make $1, bro.
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of here.
Yep.
Piss me right off. Seeing
there's
girls on the industry that are like, the little country princess. I know she's engaged, and I see her fucking some other dude that she's taking into the hotel room. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
You're all
exactly.
Get this shit out of here.
Yeah. I want my TV show, and I've got a line of products, and then I get caught in one of the largest poaching rings in U.S. history, and then I'm butthurt because I got caught. Yeah. Not throwing any names out there, but
you're gonna try to say that you didn't do it.
Yeah. Oh, it's not worth fighting the court fees. We'll just accept a guilty plea because of that.
Guilty.
That's how that works. That's what I'm not lying to. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Exactly.
Just plead guilty because it's just an easier thing to do.
Yeah.
Again,
won't cost as much.
Right.
It's crazy what it's become. You know what I'm saying? And I think a lot of it too is a lot with, some of that shit, that fake stuff that they're putting on there. It's not good because then a lot of people that look up to them are trying to do those things.
Yeah. And like you got the opposite spectrum of it, like not to advertise as, people that they need, but like shows like The Hunting Public, which is exploding.
Mm-hmm.
It's the opposite, man. So people are seeing, holy shit, I don't have to go sit in a $6,000 tree stand in Iowa. I can go to Ohio and kill a big deer,
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's part of it. Like, nobody cares. Nobody's impressed anymore by your 200-inch deer on your private farm that you've had 700 acres on in Iowa. Nobody's impressed. I'm not. It's cool. I'm jealous for sure, man. If I owned it, I'd be doing that too. That's how I look at it. I know how this game works. It's not rocket science.
Let's just not tell too many people about Ohio, though.
Ohio sucks, guys.
That's what we were joking about, man. Like, we went to that Missouri piece, and I'm like, podcasts and TV shows are the reason this place is packed right now.
Yeah.
For sure. And then we met that other piece. There was a group from Michigan that were there, and they were like, we've been coming here 16 years. I've never seen other hunters here. And there was like 4 other campers set up.
Yep.
Like, hey, you can thank The Hunting Public and shows like that for podcasts like we're talking. That's it's tough because I want to get everybody involved. You hear a lot of big names talk about it. There's a podcast I listened to the other day. The dude's a professional hunter. He was saying how his brother hates it because you're getting too many people out there and they're all going to go hunt his spots and he can't go shoot his shit now, and it pisses him off. And I can see both ends of it.
Yeah, and that is honestly a negative effect. We did see some of that in Ohio. I do see it here in Virginia on our limited public lands. As it becomes the new fad, you do see a lot more people going out and trying to replicate things like The Hunting Public. Hey, I saw they were here, so I'm going to go hunt it.
Yep.
And it has a positive effect in the hunting world, bringing new hunters in, influence, etc. But at the same time, it does hinder what public hunting used to be.
Yeah.
Now it's a fad.
Right. Yeah, you can go buy your saddle and go swing around in a tree and go hunt it. And I do all that shit. I mean, I started going to Missouri three years ago because I just wanted to go hunt somewhere other than Michigan, and I fell in love with it. And I tell everybody how great it is.
Yeah, we're the same way.
I want my Michigan friends that it's not that we don't have big deer here like most states. They're around, but I hunt an 88-acre piece, and that's the biggest piece around, and it's surrounded by 10 and 20-acre pieces with 4 or 5 guys on each one. It's hard for a deer to get to maturity. It is what it is. There's a lot of people hunting, and everybody wants to kill deer, and I want everybody to kill them too. If we could all shoot 130 10 points, then I'd be thrilled. But there's only 2 that live there a year, basically, and they're dead. So it is what it is. That's how it goes.
Exactly.
Hey, you hate it here too? Let's go try somewhere else.
Yep.
Now people are realizing they can do that with Onyx, and fuck, as much as I try to not talk shit about it, crossbows and shit like that, everybody and their brother can just go hunting now. It doesn't take anything to just go hunting. So
Yeah, like I said, there's an upside. It's getting people hunting, trying to bring that back, but at the same, on the negative side, it does have that impact to those of us who have been doing it.
Yeah.
You know, because now
anybody who wants to go, man, like I say, I take kids out all the time. I just think there's a right way to do it, and there's a way to do it that I don't like as much. I'm not going to bitch at anybody for it, but you're not my favorite.
I think it also brings guys like us to work even harder.
yes.
So it's going to make us better hunters.
Well, seeing there is a flip side to this. Like we experienced, you know, we were fortunate enough to meet up with some locals in Ohio who had been hunting that place for a long time with, you know, good luck, but not, they were watching the buck Trev got, among other bucks that we saw while we were in there, but they had never seen them.
Yeah.
And when we did the recovery, they came with us and they were able to see kind of the foundation of how we hunted versus how they hunt. And I think it flipped a switch for them that, okay, it's not a TV show. Field edges and fence rows aren't always going to kill the giants at sundown.
Yeah.
You know, it's not the Drury's property.
Right.
Well,
And-
you know, hunting Michigan.
Yeah. So
Oh, yeah.
there is the flip side is it sucks because he came in there and out of state came in, took one of his target bucks, but he was super cool about it and more excited for Trev than if he'd have shot it himself. So there was that upside. We also got to teach him something in the process. So maybe that will help him in the future. You know, there's an upside to it. Downside is out of stater came in there and killed his target buck.
I think guys got to open their mind a little bit to it. That was something we had to do as we adjusted on the fly. Was you're on public land, everybody and their brother can use it. So be as positive and helpful as you can with it.
Agreed.
So like we showed up and there was 4 dudes from Michigan, and I met the one guy right at where we were parked at. He was a super cool dude. Here's where I'm hunting. You know, we showed each other on the map. Here's where he's at. All right, I'll stay away where your boy's at. Okay, they're over here. Cool. One of them had killed a deer. You know, let me know if you kill one. We'll help you out. Everything was cool and cordial. I never really met anybody out there that sucked. There was a couple people you could tell were kind of pissy. You know, you walk and you can see somebody and they're flaring their arms and they look all pissed off at you. And it's like, oh, sorry, bro. It is what it is. But you got to be able to help each other out, man. Like, don't be afraid to talk to people.
Right.
So we left. There was 2 new kids from Michigan that came in, and I flat out told them, I'm like, we're leaving. I don't know if I'm ever going to come back to this chunk of land. I just saw a 140, a 120, and 3 or 4 other decent-looking bucks. This is where we were at. I would start there. Like,
absolutely.
don't be afraid to help everybody. I'm not saying give your honey holes up if you got them, obviously, but help each other hang the deer and track the deer and share beer, man. Don't everybody wants to act like I got to kill the buck. Well, you're probably not going to kill him anyway, man. The odds are that somebody else is going to, so just share a little bit. But don't be so.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody fights with their neighbors on private the same way. Who cares? We're hunting. I want to kill the biggest deer too, but if my neighbor kills him, he did it right and did it legally, hey, good for you, man. Cool.
Yeah, I'm just as stoked for him.
Yeah, awesome. Let me come see it because I want to touch it.
That's it.
Well, see, if Trev would just shave his mustache, then
He'd be Amish.
yeah, the Amish.
Yeah, you'd be in.
He had a really good meetup with some locals around there, some of the Amish folk, and that was their advice is shave your mustache and you don't have to wear a mask, and we saw a big deer over here.
Yeah, man. I had a couple of Amish dudes walk up on us. They were pretty cool. We had a good time.
You hear about how bad they are, though. Like, everyone talks about how bad they are, but these guys I met were cool as hell. They're like, it's public land, man. Hunt wherever you want to hunt. You know, like, because we were going to go on the same ridge. And he's like, it's public fucking land. Let's hunt. You know, and they were wicked cool
People
about
get
it.
pissed because you'll see, like, I had a dude walking out with a blue shirt and a crossbow in his hand, and I think that, like, people just get mad and say they suck. Well, I saw an Amish dude walking in there, a local dude, and I'm like, I might be in a halfway decent spot right now. But I'm betting he knows where the deer are.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Amish dudes can kill some deer.
Yeah,
There's no question
By
about it.
their houses, they all got giant deadheads hanging on their porches and shit. I'm like, this guy's got it figured out.
Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah, and they don't need all the fancy extra shit and the gimmicks and the cells, and they go, I need something to shoot, something sharp to go through it, and I'm good.
And they're cool with you for the most part. I haven't ran into anybody that, like I said, anybody that was local, I had no issues with, or that had been there. It was new people from out of town that were just like us that were, I don't know if they were just upset because there was a bunch of people and they didn't think there would be or what, but
Right.
like, like you're saying, it's public land. You want 100 yards away? I can't tell you no. Sit over there.
Yeah, for sure.
It is what it is.
Yep.
I'm not mad at you.
So, Niko, we got one question here on the Outdoor Drive podcast, man, and that's what drives you outdoors?
What drives the outdoors?
What drives you outdoors?
Drives me outdoors.
We already know what drives the outdoors is a bunch of fake shit, so we'll get past that.
I've written about it a couple times, man. I call it the anticipation of the unknown. It's definitely what drives me outdoors for anything. It's even if you think you've got that big buck pattern, you never really know. And if you think you're on the X for the ducks and geese, you never really know. Is this goose going to have the band on it? Is this bass going to be the one that breaks the record? You never know. Like, people talk about being bored fishing. I'm like, man, every cast, I'm thinking this is going to be the one.
Yep.
Every sit, I think I'm going to kill that buck. So it's you never know. You turn your head left and right, and you just don't know when that giant's going to be there. It's the draw of that, the pull of that for me. That on top of the normal, it's the peace and the serenity, and I love all that shit too. But I love when you feel your stomach flip when you see that big giant buck and your heart race going through the roof all of a sudden, or whatever it is.
Yeah, trying to choke it down out of your throat.
Yeah, pretending that your knee's not bouncing off your stand.
Yep.
Steve, I think Nico's got it figured out because the rest of them sure as fuck didn't, because that is definitely what drives me outdoors.
What do you mean? You didn't have time for that. You went, oh shit, grab my bow. You didn't have anticipation time.
Yeah, that's when you get lucky with it. When you don't have time to think is usually when you're going to be all right.
It's great. I'll go through it real quick, just so you know. But so when talk about filming and everything, when it's going to happen, it happens for a fucking reason. And that was the primo supremo situation where it definitely just happens. Like, I'm filming one deer and then that happens, so I just start filming the deer that I end up shooting. Like, it just happens. And then, like, throughout the whole entire hunt, I'm trying to film another deer and can't even get the fucking thing on film. But when it happens, bro. It's supposed to happen. It's going to happen, especially in filming world.
Yeah, man. You live for it. It's like that little bit of time, those few seconds is, you'll think about it until next year and you'll continue thinking about it after. It's just, it sucks you in. You can't get rid of it. And you see it in some people. I'm sure you guys have done it. Like, you take somebody out and they have a cool hunt and you can see it like, no, you ain't coming back. It's just not for you. Like, they might go hunt a little bit more and stuff, but then you get hit by it. And then you'll take some kids out or somebody new and you can see it in their eyes when they get to pull the trigger, or even before they pull the trigger, like, oh, this kid's hooked forever.
Yep.
I love that shit. That's my favorite thing when I take new kids out, just looking at their facial expressions when shit's exciting. It's like, oh, this kid's got it. He's hooked. I'll be seeing him out here later on.
You're born with it, in my opinion. You're born with it. And then it's like training a dog. They're born with it, and it's in their blood, and then all you have to do is just pull it out. And when you start to pull it out, then you can just see it and you're like, he's got it. He does not have it. He's got it. And you can just tell, like, who's going to make it and who's going to, like, if it's in their blood or not, man. And it's got to be. That killing instinct, I mean, like we said, there's hunters and then there's gatherers. It's okay to be a gatherer, but some of us are just hunters, and that's just the way it is.
Yeah.
I'm going to say that in a nice way.
Yep.
All right. Well, Niko, I know we're coming up on a hard time. You got a hard cutoff tonight. But before we catch you loose, can you tell everybody where to find you, where to find the show, and anything else you want them to know?
Yeah, so check us out. Check out the show if you haven't downloaded Carbon TV yet. It's basically Netflix, but free, and it's all hunting and fishing and outdoor shows. You can get on there, see the show's ratings and stuff. So check out Carbon TV. Look up Time's Up Outdoors on there. Give us a rating if you can, and then we're on Instagram and Facebook. Same thing, Time's Up Outdoors. So, and chat with us, man. Pay attention to our story. That's something we like to talk about, is our Instagram story. If we're all together, it's usually a pretty comical event for everybody. So get a little firehouse life in there. We try to show the love as much as we can. That's pretty well monitored nowadays. They don't want us promoting through the firehouse, so we got to kind of be careful on what we do. So we got to find ways around that. But you'll see a lot of us doing dumb shit and having a good time, and just check it out. It's all real raw and just us, man. There's no bullshit in our show. That's what we're always saying.
That's how Garrett says it. Raw, real, no bullshit.
Yeah, man, that's exactly it. We're gonna have that episode will be out. That's gonna be our season finale. I think 2 or 3 weeks that'll be up. Our bow fishing episode with those guys. That's gonna be fucking sweet.
Hell yeah!
Can't wait to see it.
That trip, yeah. So there's some cool stuff from ice fishing to bears and deer and turkeys. Bunch of kids and youth stuff on there. So if you're a Michigan guy and you want to shoot turkeys, or you got a kid that wants to shoot turkeys, shoot us a message, man. We'll take you out. We usually get about at least 24 turkeys a year out for people out there. So
nice. Trev, you don't qualify.
I don't qualify?
No, you don't qualify.
We get a few people out of state every year, man. I just think it's funny to drive that far for Eastern turkey when you can shoot them anywhere. But
right.
Boys come up from Kentucky. They had a good old time.
Hell yeah. Good shit.
Let's go out to Nebraska or Kansas, though, and shoot some Rios and Merriams again.
There you go. Now you're talking.
Dude. Boys out there anytime. I love that shit.
Mix it up.
Hell yeah.
Well, man, we can't appreciate you jumping on enough, giving us your time. I know you guys got a ton of everything else in life going on. So the little bit we could get out of you, we greatly appreciate it. And I'm sure everybody listening got a good kick out of that too. And we'll definitely keep in touch. So anything you ever need, reach out, let us know, and we'll be happy to help.
Same to you guys, man. Really appreciate being out. It was a lot of fun.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for the show. And for everybody out there listening, we want to thank you guys for taking the ride right here on the Outdoor Drive.